Oh my goodness. Hello everybody. I am in Oahu. I'm visiting my friend right now, Cassidy. She actually lives here. I've been getting so many requests from you guys to do a makeup tutorial, and I know in my last vlog I did like a quick little rundown, but that like wasn't even it, and I did things so out of order and I didn't even like show you everything. So today I'm just gonna show you my makeup tutorial. This is basically what I wear when I go out to dinner. I only have like one or two looks. It's either like heavier or light, and so I'm gonna show you the heavier one today. This camera is so frustrating because the settings just like have this like blurring effect on skin, so it kind of gets annoying with makeup. I feel like you can't see the products that well. Tried playing with my settings a little bit to like make it less, but we all know I'm not good with technology, so you know, we'll see. Let's jump into it. This coffee is gonna make me have a heart attack. I don't know why I keep drinking it. So I just washed my face and put Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. Lightweight, makes your skin feel nice and moisturized and prepped for makeup. Oh, I found this girl on Instagram. I will put her name up on the feed because I always forget her name. It's like super simple, I don't know why, but I'll put her profile up on the screen. I think I've watched every single one of her live videos. I bought her bridesmaid makeup guide. She's absolutely phenomenal and she's helped me so much with makeup. I'm not a heavy girl. I don't like it to look like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. This isn't coming off. So let's start to prime this bitch up. I always like to use the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. It just makes my skin feel nice. I don't really know what it does besides that, but I just like the way it feels. And I got the liquid one and I just put it on my face. While we're doing the skin prep, I want to just say I've watched countless makeup tutorials and makeup videos, and you see all these people using the products, but please remember everybody's skin is so different. I've bought in products where I'm like, her skin looks absolutely amazing, so I'm gonna buy it, and it doesn't make your skin do that. Everybody's skin has different texture. My skin is texture. I have milia right here. I have discoloration around this eye. We're all working with something different, so don't look, there's a plane going by, I don't know if you guys can even hear that. Don't look at somebody's skin and be like, their makeup is so perfect, like why does mine never look like that? Because they may be blessed with just such nice skin. When you watch those videos, take it with a grain of salt, find products that work for you, find the type of skin that you have. I learned that I'm pretty combination and sometimes on the oilier side, so I like a lot of mattifying products, powders to like set things in, things like that. Some people like more dewy because they have like drier skin or something like that. If I did dewy, I would look like I have a wet face. So do what you want. That's my primer. Second primer that I found from that girl's Instagram, actually from her bridesmaids course, she talked about for oily people. This is a Milk Makeup Blur Stick primer thing, and she says that she just puts this over her T-zone and it will help just take out that shine, because I get shiny right here on my chin and like up onto my forehead. So I'm gonna take this guy and put him right here. Oh, it's so soft. My chin, my forehead. Next, I am going to do my brows. So it has been a journey trying to find good brow gels. I have the Charlotte Tilbury, I really like that one. Now I'm on to Patrick Ta's laminating gel. I also really like it, but the one thing with this product is it will dry very fast, so you have to work fast and finish one eyebrow before you move on to the next, because once it locks in, your eyebrows are set in stone and they are not moving from that position. So you do kind of have to work fast. Also, I'm just gonna teach you things that I've learned as we go, because these are tips that I've just like been like, why doesn't this work for me? And then I figure it out and I'm like, oh, that's so helpful. So eyebrow gel, I used to put it on after my foundations and powders and everything like that, and then I put it on and I get like crust through my eyebrows, and I thought it was like the brows fall, or the brow gels fall and all that kind of stuff, and I just realized I'm putting too much. I was like scraping my makeup into the brow gel and it was just getting messy. So lately I've been liking to gel my brows down a little bit. You can fix them up if they get a little moved around as you put on your makeup, but I like to do it first just so it's a clean. So I usually brush them up like this. Okay, so the brows are now up. They're just a little bit fluffier and we're not gonna fill them in until later. So now let's go in with the face. I recently just got this. It's a Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. She's stunning, but if you have oily skin, be careful with her. I used to put it all over my face and then the shiny thing would happen and I'd be like, oh, I really don't like that. So I've learned to basically just put it on my high point. So I put it on my cheek and like down here. And like, yes, I'm gonna end up blending it all over my skin, but I just put it there and I don't really put it on my forehead. Most of my brushes that you guys are gonna see are from like the same Sephora collection, except this one I bought at Shopperly, but it's also still from Sephora. So I don't know if you guys can, you can see it a little bit, that little glow that it kind of created across my face. Up next, we got Giorgio Armani. This has been my foundation literally since high school. I love it. It's super lightweight. It gets the job done. It's not super full coverage because again, I don't really like that. We love it. And I was so happy when I was watching all of her makeup tutorials. Giorgio Armani is like her favorite. So I was like, fuck yeah, Tamara, you did a good choice. I'm gonna take like that much. So I like apply it with my finger first. And then I take my brush, that same brush that I did the floss filter, dip it into that to kind of coat my brush a little bit. And then I'll go through and blend that in. Always take it behind your ear, don't be that bitch. I used to like to do my eyes first because I would fuck up so much and it would be like my cleaning correcting, but as time goes on, I actually like to do my face first. I like to get my contour and all of that out of the way before I do my eyes because my contour goes into my eyes. So once we blended with the brush, we're not done blending. We're gonna then take a wet beauty blender and I press it into my skin. I feel like you can see the makeup a lot better. Let me know if this looks better. I really don't know anything about technology and I was just like fucking around with the settings. So usually I do this with my moisturizer, but I forgot because I wanted to show you. But this is the Laneige lip mask. I like to moisturize my lips before I start my face. That way, like at the very end when you're ready to do your lips are nice and moisturized. Now we're gonna go in with contour and bronzer. Today I think this is what I'm gonna do. This is the Charlotte Tilbury this is Charlotte Tilbury contour wand, and this is the Chanel Les Beige Soleil de Chanel, their bronzing cream. I feel like everybody has seen both of these things. The reason I pair these together is because this one is heavier, it's way darker, more intense. It's also a little bit more of a warm tone, but I kind of like it. And then the Chanel bronzer, it looks pretty pigmented. Oh, hi. It looks pretty pigmented, but it goes on very sheer. So when it comes to contour, you want to not go in your cheekbone. We're trying to bring your cheeks up. So we're going to aim for right here, okay, on top of the cheekbone. Now this guy dries pretty quickly, so I kind of like to do one side at a time, just so I don't like make it look weird. If you're more comfortable with it, then like do both sides, but I still just get nervous with makeup sometimes, so I just do one side at a time. I'm gonna do 3 little dots here, just like that. Go up onto my forehead a bit, and then I take this brush. This is from e.l.f. contour brush, and I'm going to lightly, my hair keeps getting in this, blend over that spot. I'm not going up or down. I'm literally just pressing onto that spot and taking it a little bit closer to my nose. My freaking baby hair keeps getting in the way. So I'm gonna put a little bit more on because I know I can put a little bit more on now that it's like blended in. Now with this one, I'm going to take this Sephora 93 brush, my Soleil de Chanel. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing any of these things right. And I just dip her right in, and we are gonna do the same thing, just go over that same spot. So now we're kind of bringing a little bit more intensity to it, and we're making it more warm tone. And take it back to your ear. And if your contour gets crazy, totally fine. You are gonna put concealer on, so it'll help clean it up. And then we're gonna take our beauty blender again and just press it in. I did the other side. See how it's not super intense, it's just glowy and pretty. We feel like a glowing goddess, you know? Okay, so now that that is on, I'm actually gonna take my NARS Sun-Kissed Bronzing Cream in the shade Laguna. And I just like this shade because it's a really good mix of cool tone and warm tone, so I like to use it to contour my nose and take it into my eyes. I think it looks a lot more natural. I take this little brush, it's the Morphe M173, and I just dip her in, and I will lightly just contour my nose. So I get a mirror and I'll just go down the sides of my nose. The thing with this bronzer, it is very forgiving. So like if you go crazy with it, she will blend so well into your skin. And then I like to take her up into my brow, create that depth. Okay, I know this looks really intense. It's not gonna stay like that. Then I'm gonna go in and just blend her down a little bit. And again, if your contour looks crazy, we still have concealer. Again, with the Beauty Blender. Now I'm gonna go in with my concealer. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Right under my eyelids, not too close to the waterline because that will create like buildup. I put it right out there. Like if you feel like you have a lot of creasing right underneath your eyes, try not to put it all the way up to your lash line. Try to stop a little bit further below. It'll help that creasing and that buildup underneath your eye. And then I put some on my chin. I also take it down my nose a little bit right here. I like to go on top of my lips, kind of creates a pretty like lifting thing in between the forehead. And then I love to go here to kind of carve out that contour a little bit more, especially if you feel like you did a little bit too much. This is a good one. You're just gonna go right here, swoop her down, okay? And then you look like this. So we got this. I like to use a little brush to blend this in. This is the It, I don't know, it's an It brush. It looks like this. And I'm going to just buff right underneath. I'm just gonna blend it all in. Take it out to the sides because we're trying to lift that eye up. And then I'm going to take some of that concealer and just blend it onto my eyelid to create a base for my eyeshadow. And then again with the Beauty Blender, we're going to go in. So as you can see, it's apply, brush, Beauty Blender for basically like all my steps. Now I'll take that same bronzing brush and I kind of, if I made a harsher line, I just like to buff it out a little bit so it doesn't look like, oh, you just put on like concealer right there. Now I like to go in with my blush. So I like the NARS creamy blush in the shade Scandalous. I think it's so pretty with my dark hair because it's more of like a maroon shade. I like to put my blush on after my concealer because I feel like blush shouldn't be as precise. I think you want it to look like it came from the actual sun, and the sun doesn't perfectly do it right here. I take it into my nose, so that's why I like to do it on over my concealer so it's not taken off. But we're gonna take it up to the side of the cheek all the way up to that temple. I think everybody looks so cute with blush. And then I take it onto my nose. I totally forgot to put concealer on my nose. Oh my god, story of my freaking life. I'm gonna take that Radiant Concealer again. We're gonna go straight down my nose in the middle. And a little one on the tip. Just like that. And then we'll press it in with the Beauty Blender. If you feel like your concealer took over your contour a little bit, just go back in with that same brush you used to apply the contour and just blend them out a little bit. And then I'll go back in with my blush. We're gonna go in with a big flat brush like this and go into the lightest shade, and I'm just going to coat my entire eye to set that concealer and make it not sticky. Do you guys like my verbiage for how I do everything? Okay, a tip I learned for your eyes is to use your bronzer into your crease to kind of tie in your face to your eyes and make everything match, I guess you could say. So today I'm going to be using this Buxom. This is a new one that I've been loving. It's their primer infused bronzer in the shade Rooftop Tan. It's a stunning shade. And then I'm going to take a fluffy brush like this, go into it, and we're just gonna go into our crease. So I have kind of hooded eyes, as you can see, like my skin kind of hangs onto it. So my crease is kind of right above that. When doing this, you're kind of making your own crease. Just go right here, all the way into the eyebrow, and then to the corner. I don't really go down, I just blend up. We just created some depth in the eyes. Now we're gonna go in with some darker shades, baby. We're gonna go back in with this palette. I usually take this shade right here, a little bit darker than my bronzer, and we're just going to put it kind of into that crease a little bit more to deepen her up. and again out towards those eyebrows. The reason I go out towards the eyebrows is because I'm trying to lift my eye up. And then this one I will take into that outer corner as well. The mirror I'm using is kind of far away from me, so this is hard. I didn't bring my Vanity Planet little travel mirror, and I'm so mad I didn't because I love that mirror. Now I take a smaller brush because I'm gonna get a little bit more precise. We're gonna go in with a darker shade. We're gonna go in with like this little darker brown shade. And with this guy, I'm kind of setting up my winged eyeliner. So I'm going to take it on the bottom lid and kind of take it out almost like I'm drawing a shadow wing, but I'm being messy with it. And I kind of just pack it on and bring it out a little bit past that lash line. And then once I feel like it's pretty packed on, I'll take it up slightly. We're just staying in that outer corner. So it's not fully blended in yet. I take that brush that we did for the crease. I don't even put any more color on, and I'm just going to blend her in this little circular motion. Now I'm gonna go in with another brush that's a little bit flat. It looks like this. And we are going to bring in a lighter shade onto this inner corner. So I don't stop right here. I actually bring the inner shade to like all the way over here to make my eyes look bigger, if that makes sense. This is a Modern Renaissance palette, and if you guys like a sparkly shade, the Primavera and Vermeer, whatever these shades are, they are so sparkly. I don't love that much sparkle, and these shimmer shades in the Morphe palette are a little bit just more subtle for me, not as sparkly. So I go in with this top one. It's kind of like a pearly shade. And I'm going to go into that inner corner, just like that. See how it's like, it's shimmery, but it's not sparkly, if that makes sense. So see how I brought it into my inner corner a little bit more? You don't have to do that, you can just keep it on your lid, but I like the way that it looks. And then if you feel like you went too crazy with that, like I feel like I did, I go back in with that brush and we're just gonna blend that down a little bit more. Cute. I like to go back in with that first shade that we used. And I go right here and kind of blend that lighter shade with the darker shade and the transition shade. All those things I kind of like to just tie it in together a little bit more. So I kind of go like halfway through my lid and then up into my crease. Now it's time for the liner. I always get so nervous. I just repurchased this. This is the roller liner from Benefit. I always do my liner in the shade brown. I think it looks just more natural on people. This is what she looks like. She's nice and pointy. And we're gonna do the liner. I'm like sweating because I'm nervous. I'm gonna fuck this up. I also can't talk during this, so let's go over this first. I'm gonna go from my outer or top of my lash line, and I'm basically gonna draw it up to match the tip of my eyebrow. That's the line that I'm trying to follow. And then I'm gonna drag it in and create the winged line. You got a line? Okay, so now I connected it to my lash line. It's not done yet, but I did not grab it from the very tip and pull it in. I kind of grabbed it from halfway and pulled it in. If you grab it from the very tip, you're gonna create a chunky liner. So try to start it halfway and then pull it in. And then we're gonna take the liner on top of the eyelid. So this is where I'm talking about where I want that to be a straight line. So from here, we're just gonna make that a straight line so there's no bumps and it's just a smooth thing until the lash line. And if you feel like you went crazy, just take a little Q-tip, wipe it away, and then I'll take my concealer brush again and just blend that in a little bit more. Like brush that concealer onto there. They're not perfectly even. That's okay, they're never going to be. Now it looks a little bit more harsh. I like to take a shadow now and kind of blur it out just so it's not as intense and it's a little bit more like fluffy, I don't know. A dark shade brown onto a little angled brush. My setting spray, this is the Urban Decay All Nighter. And we're gonna spray the brush. This is gonna help the product stay on. Pinch it so it's a little bit more precise. And then I basically just go over that line that we drew with the liner. This is really great too if you feel like your line's a little wonky. This will help to just buffer out a little bit. Now we're gonna go back to the face. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. Now I used to put this on with a brush I recently just started putting it on with a beauty blender, and I feel like it just sets into my skin a little bit better. So with my beauty blender, I'll take it and I'll just press her into there. So it's like that. So you press, and then we're just gonna go into the under eyes and under that wing and down the nose. Up here, on the chin, and the forehead. I don't know why, but I feel like the powder just goes on so much better with the beauty blender, and I never understood why people did that. And then I tried it and I was like, oh, wow. Fluffy brush, and we're gonna go in with that same bronzer that we used on our eyes. So this is the Buxom, again, Rooftop Tan. Fluffy boy. Get it on there. And then I go over basically where I put that contour. You can be a little bit messier with it. Again, I take it up onto my nose. This bronzer kind of has like a red tone into it, which I like it because it looks more of like this was caused by the sun. Big sun girl, apparently. And I'm also going to take her onto my chin right here and down my neck and behind my ear. More blush because I am obsessed with blush. This is from Milani. The whole thing like already has come off in the shade Dulce Pink. I like to go over this one at the end because it has like a pretty shimmer to it, and I just think it looks so cute. And I take it in a little angled brush like this. This one is from a Sephora collection, and up my cheeks, onto my apples, and again onto my nose. So basically all my bronzer and blush goes like that. Sometimes I put a little bit on my chin. Up to you. Like sometimes you do your makeup and you're like, what happened? Like, well, that doesn't look like my face. And then sometimes you do it and you're like, that looks really good. We're gonna do my brows. So I'm gonna brush them up a little bit because as you saw, the ends like fell a little bit. I like to fill them in after I put them down just so that my eyebrows have the shape and I know where I'm supposed to actually fill them in. This is the NYX Lash and Lift Brow Tint Pen. Honestly, I don't know if I like it because it's like pretty sheer sometimes. That's why I'm shaking it, because I'm like, maybe I need to shake it each time. I don't really know. But we're just gonna fill in. I have pretty bushy brows, so I kind of aim just for the tips to fill in those little spaces that I get. If you guys feel like you went too crazy, again, just take one of these, brush it through. It will help take some of that product off. But there we go. We got a bushy brow, baby. Bushy brow. That's what we're looking like. That is what we're looking like. So we're gonna do mascara. We're gonna curl our lashes first. Take your eyelash curler. You want your lashes to actually look like a curl, not like a dent. So what I do is we do one at the base and a lighter one at the tip. My friend wanted me to try this. It's her the Dior waterproof mascara. She said it's really bomb, but I get scared to try new mascaras because like if it doesn't go well, then like I'm not gonna be happy. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna like this. This is the Dior Show Iconic Over Curl Waterproof Mascara. I always use waterproof. Usually wiggle at the base and then bring it to the top. With the ends, I kind of pull them out to the side, and with the middle I kind of pull them in towards the corner. I'm gonna do super light on my bottom, but see, if your eyeliner wasn't that great, you can't really see it once you put your mascara on. So oh my gosh, I have a fan blowing on me and it's making it dry too fast. If you get some on your eyelids like I do every single time, just take a Q-tip, wait for it to dry, and then take a Q-tip and then just wipe her off. Expensive mascaras, they're kind of overhyped. I tried this one just to try it, but I also really love my normal drugstore one, which is this guy, the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I also really love this. Look at the brush, kind of the same thing. I like stiff bristles, so that's why I like that one. But this is pretty too. She said this one keeps on really well. If you have issues with smudging with your mascara, you need to be sure that you are setting your under eyes. If you leave that concealer wet, it's gonna mix with your mascara and it's gonna create that setting. So I really try to set my under eyes. Right now I just use the the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish. If I'm going out and I really want my makeup to last a little bit more, I'll go with the Laura Mercier Translucent translucent powder, and I'll set my under eyes with this. It'll just hold everything in a little bit tighter. If you get oily, I recommend a heavier translucent powder. Some people don't like to bake, but I found for me, baking honestly helps my makeup just last a little bit longer because again, I have that oily combination skin. So now we're gonna take our setting spray. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter. Honestly, if you get that setting spray, spray it a couple times before. Maybe even shake it because sometimes it'll come out in like little white droplets. Another tip I have, if you have issues with your mascara smudging, take that beauty blender, take that setting spray, and then dab underneath your eyes. Oh my gosh, my battery's about to die. Now, everything's on. This is the Hourglass Euphoric Strobe Light. I take a brush like this and we're just gonna highlight. The reason I like this one is it's not sparkly. It just gives you that nice highlight. I don't like sparkles on my face, as you have probably learned. We're gonna take a little bit on the nose, and then a little bit down on the cupid's bow. Nice and pretty. Last thing we have, my friends, is lips. So usually I line with the Charlotte Tilbury lip cheat in the shade Pillow Talk, but she is not sharpened and that is excruciating on my lips. So I'm just gonna show you, this is the Dior, what's it called? The Dior Lip Glow Color Reviver Balm. I'm obsessed with this because she makes your lips so pretty and pink, look. And it doesn't feel like a lipstick, it feels like a chapstick, so you don't feel like your lips have cakey stuff on it. They don't feel dried out. They feel so good and they turn so pink. It's so cute. This is basically the makeup tutorial. This is the going out, the dinner, a little bit more glam, a little bit more bougie. I feel like my skin just looks really pretty. I feel like I found products that work best for me, and that's what's so important. Find products that work best for you. Your best friend might have a foundation that she like dies for, but when you use it, it just doesn't work. And that's okay. Everybody has their own products and their own style of makeup as well. My style may not be your style, and that is a-okay. Do you, baby. I hope you guys liked this makeup tutorial. Let me know if you guys want to see more things like this. I don't know. This was pretty fun. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.